Next one's also an obvious one for me. I think a lot of people, especially your mates down in New Zealand, would probably argue my point on Horan and say, no, this guy is the greatest inside centre of all time. You picked Conrad Smith last week. I'm picking his inside centre buddy. Has to be Ma'anonu. Sublime player. You know what? He came onto the scene, burst onto the scene in 2003 as a 21-year-old. Played outside centre, and he was very much a crash ball type of big physical player. Didn't really pass. And then he was in and out of the All Blacks side. I mean, they played with Aaron Major, Luke McAllister. There were a lot of guys that played inside centre. And then around, if I remember correctly, it was around 2007, 2008, he really came back and cemented it. I mean, he came back a more polished player. He had a skill set that he didn't have before. So he really, he's not just a freak that has got this natural talent. He went away and worked on the shortcomings in his game. And he had a beautiful passing game. He could kick if he had to. He wasn't a renowned kicker. Defensively, a rock, an absolute rock. He scored some tries. I've said this about Cullen, I've said this about Habana, but he scored some tries that normal players won't be able to score. And I specifically think of that try he scored in the final in 2015. Broke South African hearts multiple times. He loved scoring against us. I just think he was a brute force at inside centre. New Zealand's produced a lot of inside centres, and we'll get to some of the names on the list. But for me, double World Cup winner, multiple Tri-Nations titles, and he's still playing. He's our age, and he's still playing in the Champions Cup.
Yeah, he's doing well.
It's ridiculous. What a legend. Absolute legend of the game. It was tight between him and Horan, but Nonu had to be up for me.
So he's a very transformational figure. So Nonu, I think, evolved from being a physical battering ram, as you say, to becoming a more complete player. His passing and his kicking evolved, and he became more of a kind of tactician. And as you say, key to New Zealand's 2011-2015 World Cup success. His growth in distribution and kicking made him one of the most dynamic centres ever, I think.
Yeah.
To complement what you're known for, which is just being brute force and running through people and running through brick walls, to then add some silky skills, I had to include him.
Yeah.
So Nonu's win ratio is unbelievable. It's remarkable. He's never lost a single World Cup game.
That is wow. Okay, that is.
And in
scary.
22 Bledisloe Cup appearances, he won 20 of them. So it's like
unbelievable.
And again, you look at the era and the team that he played in. Like, they were dominant for such a.
That was a golden age.
It was a golden age for Kiwi rugby.
Absolutely.
But I think the evolution that he went through as a transformational player of just